chaotic race at Silverstone, but Lando wins his home GP in front of his own grandstand. This was one of the most chaotic races I've seen in a long time. I mean, it felt like we had safety cars for about 20 laps, which can normally lead to a boring race. But this was far from that. We had cars pitting in the formation lap, which ended up backfiring on Russell, finishing the race in 10th. But no risk, no reward. It's annoying for Russell at his home GP as well. But had there not been 20 laps of safety cars and the rain come in when it did, the plan for Mercedes could have worked. Quite clear that on the day, Mercedes made a pig's ear of it, and sadly Russell had to pay the price. Big talking point of the race was when Oscar Piastri slammed on the brakes, causing Max Verstappen to fly past him when the safety car was out. On paper, from what I understand, it was the right decision to give him the 10-second penalty, but looking at it as a F1 fan on a human level, it was tough. I did feel bad for Oscar. He drove a near perfect race. He said after the race that he feels he deserved better, meaning he got P2 and he feels he should have got P1, which hard to deny. I was rooting for Norris, as you guys would assume, but he practically drove that race perfect. There was nothing more he could have really done. But at the same time, you make these small mistakes, it's small margins, as we saw on that racetrack. So many races were this close to going off the track at any moment, and again he made an error which I'm sure he'll learn from. He seemed very frustrated, which I don't blame him, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. This penalty, however, resulted in Lando overtaking Piastri while in the pits, which also made it practically impossible for Oscar to catch him with the amount of laps left and make a comeback. Credit to Lando, because once again he drove a perfect race. He rose to the occasion. And some people are obviously saying Piastri should have won the race. Ultimately, Lando didn't make a mistake either. Yes, you can look at it and say Piastri's didn't really make a mistake, but he knows the rules. He knows he can't slam on the brakes the way he did. And Lando didn't do that. Lando at no point made a mistake, and in my opinion was the rightful winner. At one point in the race early on, when the rain was pouring down, Lando tried to overtake Max, and it showed you from the first person view from the helmet cam while he was hunting Max. It truly makes you appreciate these drivers on a whole nother level. They're driving around the track at near enough 200 plus miles per hour, and they are driving on pure instinct. It just truly makes you appreciate when the weathers are like that and the condition is how it is. It really shows you how talented these drivers are, and the margins of error are just minimal. Hamilton sadly missed out on a podium, which would have been his 12th podium in a row at Silverstone, which is an achievement in itself. You could tell he was struggling with the conditions due to the Ferrari car being so snappy, like he said. He seemed to be having issues all day. Not to say he didn't drive a really good race, I think he did. You could tell he was getting frustrated. The moment when he was catching Hülkenberg and you just kind of assumed he was going to overtake him, as the commentators said, the pace started to drop. The time was actually getting bigger. And yes, Hülkenberg defended him brilliantly, but that's not like the normal Lewis. No, that guy, hammer time, puts his head down and he flies past the people in front of him. But this time I just think the car wasn't enough, the conditions weren't there, and sadly he missed out on that podium. Everyone wanted Hamilton to get that podium. There was one way to soften that blow. It was Nico Hülkenberg getting his first podium after 239 races. The roar he got from the crowd was absolutely amazing. I mean, I was sat on the sofa rooting for him. I wanted him to get that podium. As much as I wanted Hamilton to also get it, I thought if anyone's going to get this, I'm so happy it's him. I'll be honest, it got to a point where I was actually really rooting for him to get that podium. Hülkenberg had that moment when he came into the pits with around 10 to 12 laps to go when all of the cars were coming in. He struggled to put his front left tyre on, and you just thought, if it goes wrong now, then honestly, he is just cursed. But he got out of there with time to spare, distance between him and Hamilton. He defended Hamilton amazingly. I'm sure Nico looked in his rear view mirror, saw Lewis Hamilton and thought, here we go, Silverstone, this is when I lose it all. But he drove an absolute perfect race, and as he should have done, got voted driver of the day. He drove an amazing race, and it was one of them moments in sport where no matter who you root for, no matter what team, no matter what driver, just happy that Nico Hülkenberg got his first podium. You could see what it meant to him, see what it meant to the team. Even when he went into the room before they go out onto the podium, Lando had to bring Hülkenberg's helmet in and rest it on the side, which you're meant to do, but clearly Hülkenberg's never done it, so he didn't even know why Lando done that, but was very thankful that he did. On to the Belgium GP in a few weeks. 8 points between Lando and Oscar, and I do think there's going to be a few more twists in this tale, and I cannot wait to watch it. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.